Hello, everybody. I don't know why I just said that. That's just kind of weird. Anyway, hi. It's me, Crystal. I'm here for day 3, yay, of the 7-day self-love challenge. Um, so hopefully you guys are here. You're either joining me live or you're watching on the live stream. Either way is perfectly fine. And I have a lot of really cool things to share with you today. So I'm going to just jump right in. As always, if there are any questions or comments or anything that you want to share, feel free to post those in the comments. Doesn't matter when, I will see those comments pop up, whether it's happening now or later on, if it's during the replay. Okay, so I really like this tool because it gives me this really cool little thing to put up here as an agenda so I can stay on track with what we're talking about. So again, welcome to day 3. And yeah, also feel free to say hi. Let me know if you're here. I can see the comments as they pop up. So I can't see who's here unless you comment though. So just keep that in mind. All right. So today, right now, I want to share with you guys my observations on yesterday's affirmation. So, of course, as you know, those of you who do know me know that I do the work alongside you. I'm on this journey too, and I'm gaining and learning from all of these tools. And that's why I'm so passionate about sharing them, because I know they work, because they're working for me. So I did well work last night. I spent some time thinking about the affirmation, which was, I am willing to embrace the truth of who I am. And as I was contemplating that, what came up for me really was, thinking about my inner child and thinking about myself in terms of the things that I'm working so hard on to change, to improve about myself. But also thinking about it from the standpoint of myself as a little kid, and knowing that, of course, when we're children, we're making mistakes, but not only that, we're just kind of having fun and we're mischievous. And sometimes we're doing things we know are not so good because we just want to see what'll happen, and there's that little bit of mischief, little impishness in us. And so when I thought about embracing what it means to say, I am willing to embrace the truth of who I am, I just thought about embracing that little inner child, and just laughing at her antics and saying, I'm just going to give you a big hug right now. And so as I went deeper into that meditation, and of course, I encourage everyone to keep a journal. I do have mine here. It definitely brought me to some things that I decided that I was going to write down. And so what I wrote down was, I embrace myself wholeheartedly. I embrace a life just as it is, and I allow myself to enjoy it. Let it all be for my pleasure and amusement. I acknowledge the mischief without trying to make it mean anything, without needing it to be something it's not. So, sometimes I think that we also, in our minds and in our conditioned thoughts, things that we've been taught, maybe right or wrong, and sometimes we make those little mischievous things mean something when it really doesn't mean anything. Sometimes even having a pretty profoundly negative thought, makes us feel like, oh, there's something wrong with me, I'm a bad person, whatever those kind of thoughts might come up. But at the end of the day, it's a thought, and it's just that. And we can begin to neutralize the energy around that when we just acknowledge that really it doesn't really mean anything, and I can still embrace that aspect of myself that thinks those thoughts, that has those tendencies toward, whatever it is, whatever it is. The thought that popped into my mind was like, the first time you take a piece of candy that you're, in the store when you're a little kid, and you walk out with a piece of candy and you're like, ha, I just got away. And then, you get in trouble for it and you're like, oh, that was not so good. I should not have done that. Right. But still we can embrace that and just let it be with lightness and with love in our hearts, and maybe even dissolve some old patterns of negative thought just by doing that. So anyway, that's what came to me as I did this exercise yesterday. There was one additional thought that I had written down here as I got really deeply into that meditation. And I said, to embrace myself is to embrace life, embrace the universe. I love my life. I embrace the real and the fantasy. I release requirements and expectations for any particular outcome, and I remain fully present. And so it was pretty powerful meditation on that affirmation for me yesterday. So if any of you guys have any observations that you want to share, please feel free to post those in the comments, and I will look at those before we wrap up today. Okay. So the next thing I want to talk about is resistance, recognizing resistance for what it is. So in the post for today's broadcast, what I was thinking about was emotional baggage and how I know where I was, and and I'm still doing this work. So I'm not by any means saying that I'm perfect, because I don't think nobody ever will be, right? But I just remember back to times when the reality that I was facing really kind of made it difficult. Like maybe was a person who was really irritating me, or there was a situation that I just really felt was to blame for what I was feeling, what I was going through. And so part of this process is to actually recognize what those types of thoughts and feelings really mean. A lot of this, what I'm going to share, I gained from, listening to some Abraham Hicks stuff and listening to some other, healers out there, some other thought leaders out there like Matt Kahn. And, really what resonated deeply with me and what, sort of I feel like was helpful and transformative for me was to take a look at those things as resistance, as contrast, and recognizing that, number one, there's nothing wrong with you for thinking and feeling those thoughts, but to know that it's a contrast. It's showing you kind of the difference between where you are and where you really want to be. And so when you can step back from that and go, this energy, this feeling, this negativity it's bothering me, and I don't really want this. I really want to have peace within myself. What are the things I can do? What's the opposite information that I can look for? And so you can use those thoughts and feelings to inform yourself about what it is that you really do want. What is the energy that you really do want? Well, for me, first and foremost, I don't want to be irritated by, anyone, especially, I don't know about you guys, but for me, like family members, people who are really close to you, you just want to love them, right? And sometimes they can be the most irritating people, and and it's maybe they're doing it on purpose, but maybe they're not. But either way, it doesn't matter. It's about what can I say within myself? Like, how can I be more loving to myself in this situation, and how can I have more peace? That was the question I began to start asking myself. And so kind of having the awareness that there's something else going on there when those negative emotions are coming up, what they're showing you. And again, this process will start to unearth those things as you begin to ask that question. How can I be more love for myself? How can I bring more love of myself into my daily experience? Your energy is going to change. And as a result, you're going to be more aware of the places where you are broken. You're going to be more aware of the places where you need to change so that you can experience what you're asking for. So as that stuff is coming up, it's coming up to be healed. It's coming up to be cleared. It's coming up to be moved out of the way. And there's a very simple tool that I love to use Um, in addition to what we're going to talk about at the end of this challenge with supercharged affirmations, this is a tool that I highly recommend that you begin to practice. I mean, frankly, all of the stuff that I'm talking about requires a little bit of commitment to yourself, a little bit of daily practice, and it doesn't have to take a long time, but it does require that you invest in yourself and take the time to implement the tools that resonate with you. Okay. So this particular tool, I'm going to share with you right now. Let's see if I can move that down. It's called the emotion code. And so again, those of you who already know me, you know that this is one that I've been doing for quite some time. It's one that I advocate, that I include in my programs and in my one-on-one work with people. And I am not an emotion code practitioner, and you can certainly become an emotion code practitioner certified to do this, to do it for people. But I think that it's more empowering to learn how to do it yourself. So that's what I advocate. I don't need a certification to tell you that this is the tool that you should use, and that this is, and how to use it, and how to begin your own practice. And so that's what I advocate. So I'm going to walk you guys through doing a very quick version of the emotion code. I will give you a resource right now. And this is a link on my website. So you're going to be able to visit my website, and you can download the actual book in a PDF form, or there's a link to buy the book, Emotion Code. And I believe that the PDF for the chart of emotions is on my website as well. So I'm going to leave that up there just while we're doing this process. And but you'll see that it is a really, really simple process. It's so simple, in fact, that I don't even keep the chart handy. I might have one on my desk here. Sometimes I do have it laying around because I've been doing it for so long. But I don't have it handy because, honestly, I don't use it anymore. I will refer back to it, and if I need to refer back to it, I'll just pull it up on my phone. You can type in emotion code PDF, emotion code chart PDF, and it'll come right up on Google. So that's what I usually do. So anyway, let me just check in with you guys and see where we're at. Okay, I don't see any new comments or anything posted, so I'm going to just go on. All right, so emotion code. Very, very, very simple process. I'm not going to take the time to, kind of talk about the background of it or anything. You can find all that information on my website and in the book, okay? So the emotion code is a very simple process. Hey, Raquel, hi. So I'm talking about emotion code, and I'm going to walk you guys through the emotion code process. Okay, so the emotion code process is simply a muscle testing technique, okay? Our bodies carry wisdom, right? Our subconscious mind, I believe that's connected to our wisdom body and our higher mind. And there's sort of like this circuit of information that goes from the wisdom body, the subconscious, unconscious, to the higher mind that bypasses the conscious mind. And so we're not going to be using the conscious mind with this process. This is a muscle testing technique. So we just ask our body the questions, and the body knows. The body knows. It's uncanny. When you start doing this, you will find out. It is crazy, but your body knows. So you're going to be asking your body a series of yes or no questions, and you can do many different ways of muscle testing. Some people that do muscle testing will do a technique like this, where if it's a yes, it will be difficult to open your fingers with the other hand. So you're going to be trying to push up with this finger. And if it's a yes for you, it'll be difficult to do that. If it's a no for you, it will simply easily open. So that's one way that you can do muscle testing. A lot of people will also do a technique like this, where they're pushing down on their own finger. If it's difficult to push your finger down, it's a yes. And if it's easy to push it down, it's a no. I don't do either one of those. They're, I don't know. I just haven't practiced those, but those are ones that you can do. You can also do what's called a sway test. A sway test is what I do. Typically standing up, but you can, begin to become sensitive within your body to do this way test sitting down. And so basically all you're going to do is just get really relaxed. We're going to talk more about relaxation and meditation and mindfulness tomorrow. But today, I'm just going to just take some deep breaths and get really relaxed. And you can do this with me if you want to. And as you really relax into your own body, into your own space, really make an effort to just let go of everything that you were thinking about that you need to do later and everything that happened before now. Any problems or issues or concerns you have, just stop thinking about those for a little while. Know that you can pick them up later if you really need to. And just really breathe into the moment and just get yourself relaxed. And then the first thing that you're going to do is just going to do a baseline so that you know that your forward motion is a yes for you and your backward motion is a no for you. And that's how our bodies are designed. When we're listening to something that's interesting, we have a tendency to lean into it. It's a yes. When we're listening to something that we don't really want to hear, we have a tendency to lean away from it, maybe cross our arms, so it's a natural tendency for our bodies to make this motion unconsciously. Right now, we're deliberately asking the questions and we're going to listen and wait and feel what happens in the body. So you're going to ask yourself a question that's definitely a yes for you, or you can even just say, show me a yes. Take a breath and let yourself feel which way you want to go. For me, I just really felt pulled in the forward direction when I said that. And then for me, it's like, then the next question you're going to ask is show me a no, or something that's a no for you, like someone else's name. My name is George, and my name is Bob, and there's a no. Definitely strong no. Whenever I say my name is Bob, I think about a certain person. No, I'm not Bob. So that's the baseline. Then what you're going to do is you're going to ask yourself a series of questions. And again, all of this information is in the book, so go into details about it. But the first question is, do I have a trapped emotion that I can release now? And, you can be specific. You can say, do I have a trapped emotion about loving myself that I can release now? Is there something holding me back? Is there an underlying emotion that's stuck in my body that's keeping me from loving myself more? Okay, so that's the question. Is there a trapped emotion I can release now? Listen, relax, let your body sway. Okay. You'll get a yes or a no. Most of the time you'll get a yes. We'll talk about in this video, I'm not going to go into that detail, but if you have questions about what happens if you get a no and, all that kind of stuff, you can ask me offline, okay? So we're just going to assume that there was a yes. Yes, I have a trapped emotion that I can release now. And then you're going to ask, is the trapped emotion in column A? Don't worry about it if you don't understand what that means. Just ask the question, is it in column A? Say you get a yes on that. Then you will ask, is the trapped emotion in an odd row? There are 6 rows on the chart. There are 3 odd rows and 3 even rows. And so if you get a yes on odd row, then you've eliminated all the other options. So say it's a yes. Yes, the trapped emotion is in an odd row. So then I can ask, is it in row 1? My body says, no, it's not in row 1. Is it in row 3? No, it's not in row 3. Is it in row 6? Yes. Okay. So I know that now the emotion that I'm going to be releasing is going to be one of 5 emotions that are listed in the box on column A, row 6. And there are going to be 5 emotions listed in each one of those. So now I can just ask, is the trapped emotion I'm releasing now number 1? Yes, it's number 1. Is it number 2? No. Number 3? Yes. Number 4? Yes. Number 5? No. And it's just that simple. So I write them down as I get the information as it comes to me. I write it down. That way I don't have to really engage my mental processes at all for this. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a magnet. You can also use a quartz crystal that you've charged if you guys do any crystal work, you can charge a crystal, and this will work as well. But a magnet is what the book calls for. And so I have a big, powerful magnet from Nikin, and you'll run that magnet down the meridian of your body 3 times to release the trapped emotion. Okay? So you're going to run that magnet down your body 3 times. That's an electromagnetic energy that is releasing that information from your body field. And it works. Y'all, I don't know. I just know that it does. Okay? So you're doing that. You do it 3 times. What I typically do is I'm also, as I'm releasing this, I'm intending infinite love to come in and replace that trapped emotion, gratitude and appreciation for the process. And then I ask myself, did I release that trapped emotion? Yes. And then I go about my business. I typically also like to encourage people to write down what comes up for you, because you'll notice, and a lot of people do, sometimes they notice immediately that they feel different. They'll notice immediately that the things that used to trigger them, so having a thought about a person who irritates you, suddenly that doesn't irritate me anymore. Wow, what happened? Yeah, release that trapped emotion. So it's a very, very powerful thing. It's one of those things that you have to experience for yourself and really get that it's working. So I just encourage you to do it. I encourage you to, to develop it, to practice it, to just experiment with it. Jump in and try it. Okay. So again, you see it's going the opposite way of my finger. So if I start over here, there we go. It's going that way. You can go to my website and get the book and learn more about it. And I highly, highly encourage that during this process that you do that. Okay. So go ahead and type any questions in that you have about that. And I'm going to jump into today's affirmation. All right, just check and see if there's any other comments that have been posted, and there are not. Okay. So today's affirmation, I am willing to love the truth of who I am. I am willing to love the truth of who I am. Ooh, feel the power of that. Again, when we talk about willingness, that's really just as powerful as saying, I love myself, and sometimes it's hard to look yourself in the mirror and say, I love you. Why is it hard to do that? I don't know. Somebody else can maybe throw in some thoughts or reasons about why it's hard to do that. Okay, yes, I just saw Angeline's comment. Yes, I am excited for you to learn it, my dear, because it's powerful. Okay. If you have any other questions about it, please don't hesitate to ask. Okay. So when we say, I love myself, or when you look in the mirror and say, I love you, sometimes there's a pushback energetically. And it's because of all the baggage, right? It's because of all of the negative self-talk. It's because of conditioning. It's because that time when you were 3 years old, you were love and you were just pure love and it didn't come back to you, right? There's all kinds of reasons for that. There's a really great book called Frequency that I want you guys to read. But anyway, we'll come back to that later. So I am willing is a very subtle way of moving yourself energetically toward that place of knowing that you really do love yourself, because it really just opens the door. It opens your heart to allowing that information to really come through. So that's the affirmation for today. I am willing to love the truth of who I am. And really, that's just that. So what you're going to do with that affirmation today is you are going to write it down, repeat it to yourself, say it throughout the day. If you have a meditation or a mindfulness practice, you can do it during time. I suggest doing it in the evening before you're going to bed, and then just writing down. You're going to be keeping track of whatever comes up. So that is the well work, and you will see that the post for the well work is in the Healer's Toolkit. It's already posted in the group. And so you'll have the instructions on the questions that you can ask yourself and how to actually do that process. Okay. So right now, I am going to walk you guys through a guided love meditation. Hi, Lynn Arden. How are you? I'm so glad that you're here, beautiful. You got here just in time. We're going to do the guided love meditation. So I'm going to just ask you guys to just relax, get into a comfortable position. Take some deep breaths. Really begin to tune into your breath. Begin to open yourself up to the infinite potential in this present moment. Everything you want and need is here. And this process will help you to allow yourself to experience more of it, more love, more beauty, more light. Just continue to breathe and relax. With every inhale, becoming a little bit more relaxed. Again, letting go of all of the stuff that you feel like you need to do later. Letting go of all of the stuff that you felt like you should have already done. And just allowing yourself to fully be present in the moment. And as you continue to breathe, I'm going to set my intention to amplify the infinite love that we all are within my own being. And I invite you to set your intention to amplify this love within yourself. And really let yourself begin to feel it. And if in this process any negative self-talk begins to surface, it's really important that you allow that to happen. This is your body's way of helping you to release and let go of the things that have been holding you back. And it's okay to just observe those things, because in this moment you're safe and you're loved, cared for. And those are just thoughts and feelings that have a message for you. So let those thoughts and feelings come on up and enter the. Pay attention to them and acknowledge them and write them down. And then just go back to observing your brightness, observing yourself as infinite love. What does that look like for you? What does that feel like for you? Is there a light that begins to turn up inside your chest in your heart space? Sometimes I see it as a crystal, and it's just kind of glowing from within. And as that light gets brighter and brighter and brighter, it moves through my body field, and out into the world, out into my community, out into the earth as a whole, out into the universe. And just pay attention and notice what you feel. Take another deep breath in the space of infinite love and just begin to repeat to yourself, I am willing to love the truth of who I am. There's no need to seek an answer, to know the truth. We're not even asking that question. I'm willing to love the truth of who I am without even knowing what that truth really is at this point. A little scary, huh? Sometimes that thought can be a little scary. And it's okay. It's okay to allow those fears to come up. Because what if I don't like the truth of who I am? It's okay. There are a lot of basic truths that we need to begin to accept. And when we begin to move the energy of thoughts that are false, such as, I'm a bad person, there are things about me that nobody can know because they're so terrible. Begin to move that energy out of our body field. The truth is that you are love. You are light. You are made of that stuff, that infinite beauty. That is really the truth. And if you don't know that truth about yourself yet, it's okay. It's okay. This is a process that will help you to get closer to that and experience profound changes in your experience of life for the better. So just continue to repeat the affirmation to yourself without judgment, letting go of anything else that may surface. Just, observe it, like I said earlier. I am willing to love the truth of who I am. And I'm going to just let you sit with that for another minute or two, another breath or two. And you can do this process again later on tonight. And on this last inhale, breathe in as deeply as you can. Breathe in all the love, all the light, all the infinite possibilities of this moment. And release everything that's not serving you with your exhale. Begin to bring your awareness back to the present moment. Wiggle your fingers and toes. Maybe move your head, neck, and shoulders around. Open your eyes and become fully present back to this moment. Thank you for going through that meditation process with me. Give you guys a minute or two to come on back. And I'm going to touch briefly on the well work again. Let me just hop over here. So again, you're going to meditate on this affirmation throughout the day. Set a timer, write a sticky note to remind yourself to just bring presence to this thought. I am willing to love the truth of who I am. And then later in your journal, or however you're choosing to record your observations, you're going to write what I believe about myself. What do I believe about myself? I want to believe. What positive thoughts and feelings does saying this affirmation bring up? And what negative thoughts and feelings does this affirmation bring up? And again, you're simply recording your observations without judging or filtering anything. You can continue to repeat the affirmation to yourself throughout the day as many times as you think of it. And at the end of the week, we're going to take all of your observations and create new, supercharged, extra powerful, alchemical, magical affirmations that will resonate with the core of your being, that will create a blueprint for your unique soul level intentions to come flooding into your experience. This will change the energy in and around you if you commit to daily practice. All right. You're so welcome. I love you guys. Thank you so much for being here today. You have no idea how much I appreciate your energy, how much it helps me to know that you guys are here. And it's a beautiful thing. I can definitely feel you. And I feel the love, and I receive it, and I reciprocate it. So that's all I have for today. There's a couple of other pretty cool things happening later on today. And I'm going to go ahead and share that here, even though I'm going to use this replay. I'm going to use this replay as part of a online package. So maybe I'll just cut this part out. But anyway, I did want to share that tonight I'm super excited that my friend, who's an amazing traditional Chinese medicine healer, is going to come and talk with me about the Pengu Shengong practice that I'm doing. It's a Qigong practice. And so if you want to join that conversation, it's going to happen at 5:00. It's going to be on Zoom. So it will not be in the Healer's Toolkit. It's going to be on Zoom. You can message me for a link, and I will send you a reminder for that conversation. You don't really want to miss it because it is going to be powerful. It's an amazing, amazing practice that I've been doing, and it is literally changing my body. It's changing my health, and I really want you guys to know about it. So that's tonight at 5:00. Other than that, I'm going to not keep you guys here any longer. You are so welcome. Yes, Laura, emotion code is amazing. It's so simple and it works. And so anyone that has any questions about any of that, feel free to reach out to me. You can private message or, just comment, and I'd be glad to give you more details or walk you through it again, or even schedule a one-on-one, and we can do that. Okay. I love you. Can it be seen later? What are you talking about? Can tonight's thing at 5:00? So tonight's thing at 5:00, I don't know if we're recording that or not. So it would be best if you show up live. It's a Zoom meeting. It's going to be broadcast on Keith's Zoom. So if he records it, I'm sure he'll give me a copy of the recording. So it will be on Zoom, and you'll need a link. So let me know if you think you want to come, and I will give you the link to be there at 5:00. All right. So yeah. Okay. Any other questions before we jump off? Okay, lovies. I love you, love you, love you. And I will be back here tomorrow, same time, same channel. We'll be talking about day 4 of the Self-Love Challenge.